everybody. Good evening and welcome to the Jonathan Ross Show. Let's take a look at who's in my spectacular green room tonight. My first guest is a legendary musical artist and style icon. She's a talent so original and so far ahead of her time that we're still trying to catch up. The one, the only, Grace Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Grace, you look amazing. Grace Jones in the house. Wow. Also in my green room, the most popular comedian in the country right now, his latest DVD. This sounds like a joke, but this is the truth. His latest DVD has been #1 in the charts for nearly a month now, and it hasn't even been released yet. The always hilarious Mickey Flanagan. There he is. Mickey. Good to see you, Mickey. OK, alongside Mickey and Grace, someone who, when she appeared on Great British Bake Off in 2015, she won all our hearts. She went on to win that series. She's now a hugely popular TV presenter and an author, the irresistible Nadia Hussain. And also on the show tonight, the X Factor judge in charge of the overs, who also keeps an eye on the elderlies, that's Louis and Simon, the shamazing Nicole Scherzinger. Fabulous to have you back. Thank you for coming. And as if that weren't enough, we have got great music for you tonight. He was on the show Chatting a couple of weeks ago. Tonight he's back. We're going to have a little chat and he will perform his new single with MNEK. It's the brilliant Stormzy! Hello, guys. Looking good. Now, let me ask you, have a look at me, ladies and gentlemen. Do I look excited? Do I look excited to you? Yes! Well, I am. This week, the shortlist was announced for the annual Comedy Wildlife Awards for the funniest photographs of animals in the world. That's why I'm excited. Here are some of the contenders. Here's a lovely shot of 2 polar bears. We've all been there. You're in the Arctic, you've run out of toilet paper, you grab whatever's available. Here's another entry. Have a look at this. There you are, that's a beautiful... My motto is, if there's smoke coming out of your hips, you know you're doing it right. He's on fire. And here's my favourite one. Here's a fox demonstrating some very unsporting behaviour. Look at this. That's a hole in one right there, isn't it? Don't you just hope that's the golf course that Donald Trump uses? I love to see him just go down to fish his ball out of that hole and it's like... Oh. Shall we get my first guest out, ladies and gentlemen? Ever since I first saw and heard her perform, I have been a slave to her rhythm, but she's a whole lot more than just a singer, and here is just a quick reminder of why we love her so much. Go as crazy as you like for the fabulous Grace Jones. Come on down then, Grace. Let me have you down. Wow, mate, that's an entrance. Grace Jones. Thank you. Just sit over here, get yourself comfy right there. You see, you know how to make an entrance, Grace.
Thank you, darling.
You know, the thing is, when I say to people, I said, Grace is on the show, and everyone's excited, but I think people, sometimes they're a bit scared of you in advance, or they have a very strong preconception as to what you're going to be like. So you must have to deal with that when you walk into a room with new people all the time, that this is...
Well, I just do the opposite of what they expect.
And what do you think they expect?
They expect me to throw on the table and bang
There it is. Oh, there you go. That's it. Yeah. But it's weird because...
My heart.
Hey, how do you think mine's
that's
feeling?
too
I almost
much.
shat myself when you got there. But we kind of want to see you do that as well. It's weird, isn't it?
Well, then you have to pay for a front row seat.
Yeah.
Buy me some whips and things.
Yeah.
Okay, now do it.
Okay.
I can't do this all the time. I mean, you know, I'm a grandmother now.
How old is your granddaughter now?
She's going to be 9, 25th of November,
Wow.
this month. And she looks nothing. She has my nose.
Right.
She's got red flaming hair.
Wow.
She looks Irish, Scottish. When we come through the airports with her, they ask if she's adopted. No kidding.
Yeah.
Is she adopted?
Well, that's kind of a personal question. That's kind of a rude question.
If you see her, you would ask the same thing too.
Well, I'm going to ask you now. Was she adopted? Is she?
I did tell my son to take a DNA test, though. I got Rosemary's Baby.
Now, so if I'm right thinking, her grandfather would be Jean-Paul Goude, who you were with
Yes.
in Paris for a while, and that was a very creative period for both of you.
Yes.
He was involved with you in creating some of your most memorable, kind of iconic looks from that period. I mean, that's an amazing photograph. I mean,
I'm chopped up in little bits there.
have you still got that outfit?
Yeah, oh, no, well, the ass is a little bit
Well,
flatter.
okay. You and me both, great. You used to cut up the photographs and you
Yes.
would, and to change the imagery quite a lot.
Well, I believe they said you know, like what they do on internet now, that he did it actually for real, wearing these...
So, yeah, this was the days before photoshopping and
yes,
computers could be used.
exactly.
Yeah.
Wearing those bifocal things with a little razor blade, jumping up 1 inch.
Just to make your leg a
Thing
little
like
bit longer.
this, and you know, it used to kind of irritate me because I'd be trying to get his attention, like, I'm here, you know, I'm really hot for you. You know? Like, can't you see? I'm over here, I'm over here. And he'd be like this. And so, you know, he was having this love affair with me in the picture. You know?
I can kind, but
Can you understand that?
Well, I kind of can because it's like this he could control.
Oh, okay.
This he quite rightly could not control.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You know, you've had a few high-profile relationships with other people as well known as you, and there was one I remember. You were with Dolph Lundgren for a while. Okay, and you looked. It was just an amazing-looking couple, and yet it didn't end that well. I mean, when you parted company, you sort of sent him a message, didn't you?
I don't remember what message.
What happened to his personal effects when you terminated?
Oh, you mean, oh, gee. Oh, yes, of course. But, you know, whenever you snap, you don't remember after. You know, snapping is snapping.
Yeah, I know that.
They went in the fire.
Yeah, that's what I'm
fireplace.
So his clothes. Yeah.
That's how it goes.
It's a pretty clear message.
Yeah. That's taking me back away there. But, you know, but we're still really good friends. He
I bet.
surprises
Yeah, I
me.
can imagine, yeah. I mean, normally when you burn someone's clothes, they become quite close with you afterwards. But, you know, it does look like you...
It's just materialistic.
Yeah, and it's a long time ago now.
And,
so, but it's nice that you're friends
And
still.
I do like to I always become friends, even after war. We become friends after war. I think that's important.
Now, there's a film out about Grace right now, and it's called Bloodlight and Bammy. It's out now. It's amazing. If you're a fan of Grace Jones, you have to go and see it. Now, tell me what the title means, because Bloodlight and Bammy, they're two words which not everyone will be familiar with the meaning that they have in the film.
Okay, well, when you're recording, there's a red light that blinks, meaning don't go into the recording room because we're recording. And they called it Bloodlight. So the bloodlight is on. So you can't come in. Bloodlight is on. And then Bammy is something you get, you know, with jerk chicken, if you ever been to... You don't have to go to Jamaica to get jerk chicken, obviously, you know. So whenever I go to get jerk chicken, I say, I'm a Bammy girl.
So Blood, Light and Bammy. So it's the artistic side of your life and just being yourself, away from the limelight. You know, you mentioned your family, and I know you were meant to be on the show a few weeks ago, and you couldn't come on because you had a personal upset in your life, which, if you don't mind, I'll ask you about, because your mum died a few weeks ago, didn't she?
Yeah, she did, yeah. It's been a month, yeah. That's why I'm still kind of... She would still want me to look glamorous, you know. I know, so I'm just trying to... Thank you. And I'm very sorry because I never cancel things.
Don't be sorry.
I just didn't want to come on and be too sad and with the grieving and all that. We were extremely close. Plus, my mom is in the film. She sings in the film. She's a lot in the film. I take a Philip Tracy hat for her. It's like, ooh, wow. So I said, like, Mom, I need to wait to come on with you and have her going, you go, girl, I'm proud of you. And you live for me now. And that's Philip Tracy hat there. Thank you.
Your mum's name, she was Marjorie, wasn't she?
Marjorie, yes.
When you see the film, what is lovely, you do see her in it, and you see your relationship. I'm going to show you, this is the sort of the trailer for the film, just to give you a taste of what it's like. This is Blood, Light and Bammy. It's out in selected cinemas now, and you can watch it on our screen. Look at this.
The performer out there takes the risk. It's a lonely place, but it's a fascinating lonely place. I've been around the block too many times. Around the globe is more like it. Hello! I had so much rage. I'm a gypsy. Please.
Did you ever think that Grace would be a movie star?
Sure, baby. Listen to me. I'm human, man. I'm human. You're the only man made me buckle at my knees.
Blood, Light and Bammy, make sure, do yourself a favour and watch it. It's an incredible idea. It really gives you a feeling of who you are as a person, because I think a lot of people don't know that. That's the thing. We have this almost cartoon version of Grace Jones.
Yeah, could be worse.
Yeah. Can I just show you, here's the outfit you wore to the premiere of the film. So, as always, amazing clothes you wear. That's quite something. That is quite something. I mean, what is going on there? Is that a hat, or is it just, are you pulled up the shoulders? Or?
I just didn't want to be full frontal because my mom we had just buried her. And I did want to be somehow concealed, but at the same time, you could still have a peek inside, you know. It's kind of like when I was growing up in Jamaica and I have to run for sugar around the corner and it would be no full moon and it would be really dark and just be bushes.
Yeah.
You know, and then you kind of imagine what's in the bush, you know?
What's in the bush?
Like,
it's Grace
in
Jones. Yeah. It's really lovely to have you here. You are an amazing human being. I love seeing you on the show, and I love spending time with you. It's a real thrill for me to have you here, and I hope everyone's enjoyed it as well. It's Grace Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Still to come on the show, we've got Mickey Flanagan, Nadia Hussain, Nicole Scherzinger, and Stormzy. So see you after the break. Welcome back to the show. I'm still here with the fabulous Grace Jones, but let's get my next guest out. Or to quote the man himself, let's not just get him out, let's get him out. It's the very funny Mr. Mickey Flanagan. Good to have you here. Well, how lucky we are to have not just one, but two of the greatest fashion and style icons of all time on the couch of the set. I mean, you look amazing, Mickey. Where did you come up with the idea for these crazy outfits of yours?
All day it was like grey, blue, oh, it's too much. I went for the blue in the end.
Yeah, well, it does look good on you. Now, you just finished your tour, the new show, and another thing. There's the DVD, which is already at the top of the charts, hasn't actually officially been released yet.
Yeah, I've got 4,000 copies in the garage.
Wow, well, that's good. You broke records on this, so you played to 600,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, that is remarkable. In the UK and Ireland here, I know in some places you made the stage smaller so you could fit more people in. You actually did that, didn't you?
Yeah. We only need that much, you know. I was like, put another row in. Yeah, no, we did. We made the stage smaller. We put the lighting desk smaller.
So you could
we got
get...
slimmer security. I was trying to encourage people, sit on the lap if you know something, sit on the lap.
Do you like touring, though? Because when I spoke to you a while ago, you'd given up touring. You decided you didn't want to go on tour. And you took, like, a year off, which...
Yeah, I had a
which
few
is
years off.
Not many people think it through enough to say, OK, I'm going to treat myself, or this is what I'm doing, and I admire that. But then you got lured back into touring. Now, did you enjoy the tour? Do you like travelling the country?
No, not really. No. It's all right. It's great you get to see the country and you get a good perspective on it and all that. I don't mind holidays, but when you're working, it's just hotel rooms and houses.
But a hotel is nice. You must have been staying
hotels are horrible.
What?
They're just, yeah, when you do it for so long, hotels just become irritating. You can't turn all the lights off. You turn this light off and that one comes on. I started taking a torch away with me. I literally take a torch. So I can't be... the lights.
They might think you're dead in there, probably.
They do.
Because they don't hear from me.
You've seen his show, Grace?
Yeah.
Mickey, I want to show a little bit of your DVD. Not that you need help, but it's very, very funny. This is Mickey's new DVD. Have a look at this.
As you know, I grew up on a council estate. I've not made a big thing of it. For the next couple of hours, you've got to imagine I am still like you. But with money. I've started buying mad shit I have for this money. I bought myself a leaf blower the other day. It's not for the garden. It's so I can blow the £50 notes out of the way. And the ones in the kitchen. Who put that tenner in there?
Mickey Flanagan, that's the DVD and another thing. Get yourself a copy. It's out 20th of November. Do you have a rider? Do you have anything like that? What kind of things do you request backstage?
I have tea, water, and I take my own kettle. Because I saw someone poo in a kettle once.
Oh, OK.
Never quite got over it.
Hold it. Where were you when someone pooed in a kettle? I mean,
It wasn't me.
Because...
Grace, no one thought it was you until you said that.
It wasn't an accusation. I saw someone poo in a kettle. No, I think we were at a comedy club, and we were at a comedy club, and often when you're at comedy clubs, you get like a sort of dressing room, but it's not really a dressing room. This is back in the early days. And there was nowhere to go.
Grace is still remembering the time she pooed in the kettle.
The key is to not then put it on.
Yeah.
If you just leave it and go, it's fine. But if you put it on, suddenly
awful.
people are like... And I heard other people have been sick in kettles and things.
So you take your own? Well,
So I
that
take
now
my
makes
own
sense.
kettle, yeah. And so, because I might need a shit, you know.
Yeah.
You never know, do you? I have to take my own bed in.
Yeah.
Because the pillows are always wrong.
You see, I don't get that. Yeah, that's you being too fussy. My
No,
wife's like
it's
that. She
not.
always takes her own pillow even. It's like, I can sleep on anything. Surely you could sleep on a pillow.
And the duvets are too hot as well, aren't they?
How can a duvet be too
This is
hot?
too thick. It's like, I don't want to be... It's either on or it's off, it's on, it's off. You think, I'm hot, now I'm cold, I'm hot, I'm cold, I'm hot. You know, and they tuck it in too much. Like, stop tucking the fucking duvet in!
You've obviously struck a chord here, Mickey.
Totally get it.
What do you do at home, then? Do you and the wife agree about the heat required for the duvet, or is one... Because in my house, I like it a different temperature to my wife.
Do you want the truth, dear?
Yeah.
You want the truth here? Right, OK. I've got an 8-foot wide bed.
Nice.
2 separate mattresses.
Wow.
She's got soft, I've got firm.
Right.
Please, God. And, right, so... and we've got a single... we've got a quilt, which is, like, fairly thin.
On top
and
of
her
it.
side, she builds it up. So she's got a quilt, like, she's got 3 more layers than me.
Wow.
Yeah. This is how you live once you've cracked it, you know, you can do shit. But that's the only... It was either that or we had to have separate rooms or separate houses
you have it
or have
cold.
a wife.
Yeah. And she has it extra hot over there.
She's very cold all the time and I'm always hot. So this was the... And I heard it on the radio that you could get this thing. And I got it. And it saved our lives because, you know, we can sleep in the same bed. I can't see her, obviously. I throw things at her. She's like it. All right, mate. Yeah, that's how we deal with it.
But what happens if you want to have a snuggle or a cuddle at night in bed? Do you go over to the hot zone or does she come over to the fridge?
I text her. I send her a picture of my penis. She sends me back a picture of her fist. You know, we don't... No one does it in bed anymore, do
No,
they?
I wasn't asking necessarily about sex, but she's...
Oh, it's cuddling each other.
Yes!
No, leave it. Who does that? That's the first 3-4 months in it, and then eventually you're like, go away, you're too hot.
Grace, do you like it hot or cold in bed?
I'm like you. It's like you get hot and then you flip it over. You get cold, then you flip it over.
Yeah.
You're hot.
But have you not... Surely the key, and we all know this is, you just stick one leg out.
I do. I stick one leg out, one foot.
I mean, sort of
And then you
works.
push it down, and then you do that thing where you sort of like... Just put it over the corner of it over there.
Yes.
And none of it really works.
Do you ever just sneak your buttocks out?
Yeah.
Let them cool off, because I find they're hotter than the rest of me. And then when they get cold, it's quite a nice treat to go just enough and then snuggle.
That's also a cheeky fart move.
So, yeah, I mean, you talk on the tour, you talk a little bit about, you know, you're successful now. And, of course...
I am successful,
Which is a lovely thing. How do you enjoy the success? Like, for example, do you go on lavish holidays? Do you like to travel much, or do you...
We go to France.
Yeah. And do you like France?
But I've decided I'm not going back to France now. They've done me. They're too slow. Not all of them. Not all of them. Maybe some of the ones
Well,
aren't.
Grace spent a lot of time. You lived in France for many years, of course.
They are slow, though,
I
aren't they?
did, but I stayed at home a lot. In France, I stayed at home a lot, you know.
They actually do that, don't they? They do it.
They do a boo.
This is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen happen. Two grown adults just go boo, 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 and somehow it makes sense to them.
So look, I've worked out why they eat snails.
Why do they eat snails?
It's the only thing they can catch. They're so slow.
This one is getting away, Jean-Pierre! It's on heat, I think. Mickey Flanagan, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Mickey. Amazing. All right, still to come. The fabulous Nadia Hussain will be there. We've got Nicole Scherzinger and Stormzy chatting and performing live. See you after the break. Welcome back to the show. Let's get my next guest out. Since we first saw her on Bake Off, she's been charming us with her baking skills, her warmth and her sense of humour. I'm delighted she's on the show. It's the fabulous Nadia Hussain.
I tried to do a Grace Jones entrance, but I realised I'm not Grace Jones.
Well, you made a great Nadia Hussain entrance. So, when you won the Great British Bake Off in 2015, I was so excited and so thrilled to see you win. No one wants to see anyone else lose, but you so deserved it. And it was such a wonderful...
Thank you.
It's such a wonderful moment. It's 2 years ago now, of course, so your life must have changed, I mean, not beyond recognition, but in an awful lot since then.
Yeah, I mean, it has. I still call myself... I still say that I'm a full-time mum because I still have to do everything else. Whenever I'm doing something, I'm still thinking about what the kids are eating and are they... I mean, my standards have dropped massively.
Yeah.
Like, I clean the toilets maybe once a week. I mean, I hoover once a week, that's it. Like, standards have dropped massively. I just about feed them and keep them clean. That's it. But yeah, it's changed. It's changed so much.
But do you ever think, OK, maybe I wish I hadn't won? Do your kids ever think, maybe I wish Mum hadn't won?
My kids absolutely... Like, my boys are, like, they're not bothered. They're just like, OK, this is what she does. And my little girl absolutely hates it. So, but she's 7, so she'll go from hating it and she'll say, oh, when I'll get up... some mornings I'm up about sort of 4 o'clock in the morning to get into a car for 6. And my little girl will say, she will just stand there like a very creepy... She wears a nightdress and has long hair that comes down.
Like a ghost from a Japanese movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So she'll just stand there at the door and she'll say, I wish you'd never won Bake Off. like the intense words. And then sometimes we'll be in the supermarket and nobody will recognise me and she'll say, you're not Nadia off the Bake Off, are you? Come on, make up your mind.
Is it true you nearly didn't do the show, though? Is it true that you almost pulled out more than once, in fact, before the show started?
Yeah, well, I didn't actually do the application form. My husband did most of the application form. So he did all the boring bits. And then he said, look, I can't do the rest of it. Could you please just do this? Just humour me. I mean, he's at home looking after the kids, so I had the last laugh, obviously. But he said, come on, I think you should do it. And I suffer with panic disorder, so I struggle some days. And I called them up 3 times. And I called them, and they said hello, and I hung up. So I did that 3 times. And I said to my husband, please, can you call them up? Tell them anything. Tell them I'm dead. Tell them I died. Tell them it's a really tragic story, and just they'll never contact us again. And he said, I'm not doing it. If you wanna not do this, then you've got to not do this yourself. And I just did it anyway. And
what was it you were scared of, you think, or what was it that was causing that reaction?
It was the panic. So some days I can be up and be completely okay, and then other days I'll be in bed. And anyone who suffers, it's a really difficult thing to describe. And the way I describe it is, I call it my monster. Some days the monster is in my face and he screams and he shouts and I can't get out of bed. And other days he stands behind me and he taps me on the shoulder and says, hey, I'm here, and I can kind of ignore him. And other days I can just put him in my pocket and just get on with my day. So I had more... And what does my husband go and do? He puts me on the biggest baking show in the country. Yeah. I mean, what a way to push a girl in.
Yeah.
Like a monster.
Yeah.
Identified the monster finally.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
Have you been watching the new series? Because, of course, I'm sure you keep up, but there was the big furore when it moved from BBC One to Channel 4. Have you been enjoying the new show? Of course, it's slightly different, but essentially the same.
I love watching it. It's not changed that much. It feels different to me because Mel and Sue aren't there. And it's also very different when you're in the show and then to watch it back when other people are in it, because you feel quite defensive. You feel like it's your tent. And that first year that everybody's in the tent, I was like, that's our tent.
Yeah, yeah.
Why are they in our tent for?
Yeah.
So that's really weird to see other people in the tent.
Well, it's a huge, I mean, very intense
You did
experience.
it?
I did it. I was amazing and I
You
won.
were so good.
Yeah.
Did you mean that when you said it was really intense?
It was intense.
In a tent, yes.
I'm working with you.
Are you, can you bake? Would you
Can
make
I bake?
Yeah.
No, Greg's.
Grace, can you make a good cake? Are you a cake baker?
Well, bake, not the sweets. When I do sweets, I get a big pimple on my ass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't do sweets.
Yeah.
But I tried to do a turkey and it came out black.
Wow. Wow. So not...
It's just like the black turkey.
I think it's all round to Nadia's for Christmas then, if that's all right. Let me ask you about the thing that happened recently. Towards the end of the series, Prue Leith accidentally tweeted like the day before it was announced, or the night before it was announced, and that was a whole month. Did you see that unfolding? What did you think?
Oh, I'm awful because it was everywhere and then it's all blacked out so you can't see the name of the person. But what did? I went and looked for the name of the person because I can't. Once it's out, it's out. But like I remember just that moment thinking nobody in the world wants to be Prue right now.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wants to be Prue. And I felt so bad for her because there are so many people who watch and they just... I mean, it would have been OK if it was sort of week 3 or 4. You could live with that.
But we were waiting for it that day sort of thing. There was speculation at the time that you might take over from her. I'm sure you might have seen that in the newspapers. Would you want to be one of the judges in it? No? Why not?
No. No, because I'm really enjoying doing this right now.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy doing what I love. I'm not motivated by money. I'm not motivated by travel. If I enjoy doing it, that's what I'll do. And I love writing and I love cooking, and I've been able to do those things. And for me, it's always been a therapy for me to be able to do those things, and I've been able to do that, and you know, and I'm really proud of some of the things that I have been able to do.
I mean, you're so industrious. I mean, there are 2 books out at the moment, but this is particularly lovely. I really enjoyed looking through this. It's Nadia's Bake Me a Story, Bake Me a Festive Story.
Yeah.
And so this is some stories which are traditional, some which you have written and created from scratch.
Yeah.
With your kids as well.
Yeah, they are like my biggest critics. They're my guinea pigs. So with the book, there are stories and there are recipes, and each story has a recipe attached to it. And so I wrote the story, and then I made the recipe, and then they sat down, and I put the little cupcakes, breakfast muffins in their hand, and I read the story, and my little girl looked up and she said, "It's like the story came to life in my hands."
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, that is just, for me, is magic. And I literally have not stopped writing since.
What a lovely thing to be able to do that with your children and for them to be involved in the book as well when it comes out. This was, I imagine, an exciting moment in your life. You were asked to bake a cake for the Queen's 90th birthday.
Yeah.
So how does that come about? Did you get a royal kind of letter, or did you just get a phone call?
So they sent an email, and I thought it was a joke. I was in the middle of filming in Bangladesh, my first travel documentary, and I was trying to create these designs for the Queen's cake, and I thought, oh my God, this isn't happening to me, and I've got 4 days when I get back to make this cake, and it was mayhem. And I thought, oh my God, there's protocol, there has to be. And I turned up, and they said, there's nothing, you're fine. I said, so I can high-five the Queen? No, of course you can't high-five me. I can chest bump her, right? No. I said, so there are rules. Give me some rules. Give me anything. But because then she just kind of turns up, and there she is, and there I am with a knife. Just saying. Hey, Queen of England. Fancy cutting a cake? I was like, oh, God, this could end really badly. So I was really, really nervous. Yeah. And it all happened really quickly. And then Prince Philip I didn't know he was there, sauntered over. She said, this is the young lady that won the baking competition. And I thought, that's it, I've made it. The Queen just introduced me to somebody else.
And not just somebody else, to Prince Philip.
Yeah. Anybody would do, but she introduced me. And I thought that was amazing. And then he said, yes, dear, I know who she is, but what flavour's the cake?
That's amazing. Nadia, you can stick around for the end of the show, I hope.
am.
Yeah. Nadia Hussain, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Still to come, we'll be chatting to Nicole Scherzinger, and Stormzy will be here. I'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the show. Look at my next guest out. She is the judge on The X Factor, who I actually listen to, because, let's face it, she's the only one who can actually sing. It's the fantastic Nicole Scherzinger! That's the big entrance I wanted. Great to see you.
I couldn't outdo Grace Jones's pose. However, I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna get myself psyched up? And have you guys heard of the power pose?
No,
like sometimes if you're low on energy and stuff, you're just like, yeah, and just like receive all the good energy from the universe.
Well,
I'm making up the squat part because I'm trying to just feel it more. Yeah, power pose.
This is the worst band in the world, isn't it? There's a lot of energy flying around here right now. There really is. OK, so, Nicole, let's talk about the X Factor, because that's the big thing that you're doing right now, and it's changed so much.
Yeah.
And at the moment, you've got to the stage where you no longer have to send people home. You're through that phase.
Yes, we're through that phase. We gave the power back to the people.
Now, do you like that, or were you enjoying having the power?
No, I don't want to send them home. It's way easier because now I get the pressures off of us. I get to focus on mentoring.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about it, and I love working with contestants and making them the best they can possibly be as humans, as artists. I'm so proud of Matt, who won last year, and he's on the radio, and my James Arthur is doing amazing. So.
Yeah, huge stuff. So this year you're mentoring the overs for the first time, aren't you?
Yes.
Now, is that good? Is that bad? How do you enjoy that? How is that different?
Okay, it's amazing because I was moving over here, right, on the flight, and they were like, wow, so you're coming back, but with an English accent. I'm not going to do it, because if I do it back home for my family, they're like, oh my gosh, it's so good, and I do it here. You guys are just like, oh,
well, now you know we have to hear it. We now
No, but it was, don't don't do the woo, because you're going to be very disappointed. No. But it's about it. It's like, oh my God. So, what group what category do you have? And I was like, I've got the overs. And they were like, the air stewardess on the way over here was like, oh. And I was like, oh, no, hunty, no. We do not say, oh. Like, the overs is just such a negative. It's not like they're 1,000 years old. They're in their 20s.
Yeah.
My overs are in their 20s.
They're not old people by any stretch of the imagination.
So they're the sexies.
Hey, just one more. You were doing the English accent, though.
Yeah.
Oh, Grace, you can do a North England accent, can't you?
Is that which one now you're talking about, Rob?
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's not bad. So here's the question everyone wants to know, is and we just want your opinion here. Who do you think's going to win? Because at the moment the favourites are Raksu and Grace Davis. They're the bookies' favourites at the moment. Which one do you think? Maybe,
One of my guys.
But if they weren't in it, and we just go with the two bookies' favourites...
One of my guys.
OK. But if they weren't in it...
One
and we
of
just
my
had to go,
guys.
but if they
One
weren't
of
in
my
it,
guys.
which one of those two would you think? Raksu or Grace Davis? Which of the two out of those do you think is...
I would say right now, because they're slaying it on their originals, because you're allowed to do originals
Which
this
is a
year
big
on
change,
the
yeah.
X Factor. I think that they just tickle me when I watch them. They're like ordinary dudes.
This is Raksu.
And it's Raksu, I think.
OK, let's have a look at Raksu, because I love Raksu. I think they're great. And I particularly like the guy on the far right. He so doesn't look like he's actually in the band.
Mustafa's the dancer.
He's amazing, isn't
He does a little breakdown every time. I don't know, he does a little robot, a little pop
Yeah.
locking. He makes it his own, and it's fun.
It is fun.
It's fun.
Now, I've got to ask you about what happened to Simon, because there was a big news story last week. Simon falling downstairs, late night, low blood pressure or something. So he's back and he's OK, his energy's good, he's focused on
he's
the show.
back fighting and feistier than ever, back with a bite.
But he works so full on, doesn't he? I mean, he is a very
He
work-orientated guy.
He does. I don't know how he
He's
does
a
it.
stair lift by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stair lift.
Holiday.
Is that one of those things where you get in it and it goes, yeah.
I can't wait to get one of those. I want to go all the way into the bedroom and then tip me on the bed. And then the bed sits you up in the morning. I want all that.
Oh my gosh. Can I just tell you, this is my greatest night because I just get to hear Grace Jones snort. I am counting the snorts. Oh my goodness. I love it.
You spend a lot of time over. You're kind. I mean, you don't live here as such, but you're sort of like an honorary sort of UK citizen in a way, aren't you? You must like it over here an awful lot. Are there still things that surprise you? What do you like most and what do you like least about being over here?
I love it here because everybody is so nice. They're very bubbly. We have the same sense of humor. But I love their black cabs, the cabbies.
Is there taxis?
I love the cabbies here. No, they are like the nicest people, like ever. Am I right? Am I the only one here?
I think we're generally
I
fans.
live in South London, so...
They won't even take you back there, will they?
I got after charm them. Come on, mate. I was going home. Yeah, so was I.
You really don't like Uber, do you, Grace?
No, not when I say,
Yeah, look, cabby's
darling, come to me. I'm standing here, and the Uber is up there. I'm like, I'm here. I'm paying. And my son is going, take me right to the Uber.
Pull up to the Uber, baby.
So sorry to interrupt. What don't you like over here?
I don't like, okay, don't get mad, your traffic, and I don't like your toilets.
Don't look at toilets.
Oh, come on! Like, oh. Okay, you know what it is I don't get? Is when you have those buttons and, like, you have to focus your cheese so hard to be like, I'm gonna do it. Push it really hard and really fast to get a full flush.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
When you've done a big one. When you've
Yes, you know what I'm talking about, Mickey.
Nicole, you should just shit in a kettle. I mean, that's really
As I've heard.
Grace, come back.
Which?
Grace, your Uber's over there, Grace. So let me ask you about the X Factor going forward. Next year, when it comes back on, I believe Sharon's already said she's coming back. Louis already announced he's coming back. You have not yet announced you're coming back.
Well, I'd love to come back if y'all would have me back.
OK, so I think that's a yes. So have you been... Have they said come back if you can, or you're waiting to hear?
Yeah, Simon, they've asked me back, so hopefully everything will work out. I'm just focusing on this year, not messing up, and hopefully having another winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah. I hope you do as well. Nicole, it's great having you on the show. Now, before we move on to music, first of all, I'd like you to say thank you to Nicole Scherzinger, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing as always, but we're going to stick around here because although he'll be performing at the end of the show, well, when he was here the other week, he was so much fun on the couch, I thought, why don't we grab him for a quick chat before he sings for you? So let's welcome Nicole's co-mentor, because he was out with you. Where were you guys? Was it South Africa?
South Africa.
In South Africa. Let's reunite you, and let's all say hello again to Stormzy! Now, that is a couch full of talent, ladies and gentlemen. Stormzy, great to have you back here.
What's happening?
So... Stormzy, I imagine last time in the show you went down over very well. Now, of course, as you know, this show, we have a very young, hip audience. So presumably now some of those... Now, you might have some young, hip fans because of being on this show.
Yeah, man, that's how it works.
Yeah man. No, did you notice a different kind of people say hello to you afterwards?
Yeah, do you know what? The next day when I went out, it was like older people. Listen. No, not like that. Do you know what?
How old? How old?
I just older, like older than me. Like, do you know? Oh, why do I do this? I always just dig myself a hole in it.
So you're saying only old people watch me? Is that what
No,
you're saying?
no. Do you know what? All right. Do you know what it is? A show like this, yeah. Like when you come on.
I would think very carefully about what you're saying. When you say a show like this, what do you mean? An old person show?
More people knew me. More people knew me after this.
What kind of people, Stormzy?
Were they chasing you on their mobility scooters?
No. I was just yeah.
Yeah, OK, we'll move on from that.
We'll move on, yeah.
Here's the thing, when you're on the show, we had Bradley Walsh on, and Bradley was saying he was a fan of yours, and you were saying you were a fan of his work on The Chase, and he was saying maybe we should collaborate, and he seemed full on. So I imagine, have you had the call from him yet, has he?
Well, Bradley just chats shit. If you're watching this, Bradley, do you know what it is? He sat on the sofa, yeah, we're gonna do... But he ain't phoned me, text me, nothing. Nah. Everyone's saying, oh, Bradley Walsh, Stormzy. I'm thinking, bro, she's a diva, mate.
He's not even...
No, I love Bradley, he's my boy.
Yeah. Home at weekend.
So you were out with Nicole, fabulous Nicole there. You were out in South Africa at the judge's house. Now, what happens when the cameras stop rolling? Do you go out, do you have a meal, do you party, is it fun, or is it straight back to bed and focus on what the next day? I mean, I'm just asking here, I'm just curious, what kind of evenings do you have when you've had a hard day of mentoring? How do you unwind after all that mentoring?
Yeah, I thought I could drink. Yeah. I'm a big lad. I thought I'm a bit of a heavyweight drinker. And Nicole was like, she's the top drinker. And I was like, no, you're not. And then...
Hi, Mom. No, you're real proud of that one. I know.
Yeah. So she ended up out drinking me. And I remember just being smashed at the table. And I remember Nicole looking at me like with a proper look of like...
And I gave you some water.
She gave me some water, but she was just looking at me like, little boy. Little boy who thought he could drink. And I actually vomited that night as well.
No, I was cool. I was like chilling like a villain.
So you're mentoring, you're helping mentor the acts, and then she's mentoring you as a drinker at the end of the evening. Yeah. But did you enjoy the experience? If they asked you back next year, would you do it again?
Yeah, it was so sick. And Nicole made it very easy for me as well. I was proper like... do you know what it is? I felt like I was proper blagging it. Like I'm sitting there like, yeah. Yeah,
you know, it did look a bit that way.
Exactly, I'm just there like, yeah. But even when all my friends were watching it back, they were just like, look at you flipping.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you know, the vocal, yeah.
What's next for you? The album's been doing amazingly well. What are you up to now? You touring? You doing any live stuff?
No, I got the single "Blinded by Your Grace,"
which we're going to hear right now. This is an amazing track. But I say thank you to Stormzy, ladies and gentlemen. Good to have you back, man. Off you go. It's going to be great. Okay, the big man is back here, performing live tonight. Thanks to all my other guests, of course. The wonderful Nicole Scherzinger, the fabulous Nadia Hussein, the brilliantly funny Mickey Flanagan, and, of course, the icon that is Grace Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Join me next week. My guests here will be Sheridan Smith, Luke Evans and the fabulous Peter Kay. But now, with Blinded by Your Grace Part 2, it's Stormzy featuring Emanike.
One time for the cause. One round of applause. One time for Fraser T. Skip on the call. I think we got one. I stay prayed up, then I get the job done. Yeah, I'm Abigail Zoo, but I'm God's son. But I'm up now, look at what God's done. Now I'm real talk, look at what God did. On the main stage, run around topless. I won't blitz, and I tell them that we got this. God's plan, they can never stop this. Nah, wait right there, can you stop my verse? Save this kid, and I'm not your first. It's not by blood, and it's not by birth. But oh my God, what a God I serve. God. Woo!
I said a prayer this morning. I prayed I would find a way to another day. I was so afraid till you came and saved. You came and saved me. The rain was pouring 'cause the sun faded away. Now I'm in a better place, no longer afraid. Blinded by your grace, you came and saved me. Yeah, yeah. I prayed I would find a way to another day. I was so afraid. You came and saved. You came and saved me. Yeah, the rain was pouring, but the sun faded. The sun faded away. You came and saved me. Blinded by your grace, came and saved me. Lord, I've been, Lord, I've been, Lord, I've been blinded, 'cause you came and saved me.
Well, even he